here's the lovely view we have from our window in Kotor. It's a bit loud from the road, but it's okay because the view is nice and behind the windows it's not bad. And we were just discussing, just in general, our views, our thoughts, are on Montenegro.
Well, Kotor specifically, I guess.
Yeah, Podgorica wasn't too bad.
It was quiet. It wasn't like people weren't in a hurry. Here, it's a different matter.
Yeah, and just not that they're in a hurry, just the way they don't have human decency, just to, say sorry if they hit you, or just the way they treat you in the store, employees especially. They're just.
I felt like I was back in Ukraine. It's honestly, the way they talk to you condescendingly, I didn't like that, because I know how it's like in Ukraine. People are like that. And I felt like I was back there. And
we just came from Greece, and we thought that maybe people here are pretty similar to the way they are in Greece. And Greek people are just very friendly, and they don't hit you on the street. And
it's foolish of us to expect something like that.
So just know that if you come to the Balkan countries, maybe they could be not, the people are not the same as you would expect. Maybe if you're from America or other countries in Europe, probably. They don't really, maybe they're just not used to, human decency. And that's why they just expect you to be as bad, like, to them. Maybe that's why they don't treat you decently. I don't know. That's why we don't really want to come back to Ukraine, Russia, Poland even. Balkans now, but Greece is nice. And
if you look at, beautiful views, right, and everything, but for us, especially for
that doesn't
me,
matter.
When I travel, people is important, and how they treat you.
That's the most important part.
And actually, maybe number one.
Yeah.
And if I feel like that's not what I'm getting, like, I don't care about these views. I'm not coming back here ever.
Yeah, even in Podgorica, the buildings were kind of ugly and stuff, but people were a little bit nicer, so
they were more relaxed, I guess.
So that's why we have a better opinion of Podgorica. But yeah, every other country visited, Japan, America, all the states, it was all just much nicer with people.
Hey, honey.
Yeah.
How you doing, sugar?
Yeah.
What do you like?
Yeah, everywhere except Eastern Europe and the Balkans, I guess.
Not what we expected. Yeah.
Not what we expected. Yeah, but you can get used to it. Yeah, and so another example that I just remembered, when we got our Airbnb in Budva for a month, it was around $2,000, a little bit less than that for a month, for 28 days. And the Airbnb host replied to us. They accepted the reservation, and they said, "Oh, you got lucky. We forgot to make the prices higher for summer. So, but you're still, we still let you stay here." So it was kind of like a guilt trip, which was kind of weird. It never happened before. I think normal hosts would just not say anything and just accept or decline and not say anything about it. But here you feel kind of guilty. Now, when we're gonna go to Budva, then we shouldn't stay there. We shouldn't have made the reservation.
We should have paid more.
Yeah, which is really weird. So that's just another example of the mentality of the people here. That's very similar to Eastern Europe that we know of. So that's the main reason why we just don't like to come to these countries. Otherwise, it's just really beautiful. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say that Montenegrin people that we came across here, they were definitely closer to Ukrainians and how Ukrainians treat each other. And mentality compared to where we've been and traveled. And you live in other countries where people interact normally, politely with each other, and you get used to it. And so that's kind of that was for me a reminder why I left. One of the reasons why I left Ukraine. So I'm glad. So I don't feel like coming back here ever again.
And I grew up in the United States, so I feel closer to Americans than Russians, where I was originally from. So I can't. The first time I went to Russia again, it was a huge shock, and just it wears you down mentally. Like, you become so emotional afterwards, especially if you stay for a long time, because people just treat you much differently, and nothing else matters besides the way people treat you. I think just in general in life. I think everything that's bad that happens is because the way people treat each other. Because we saw like videos of people in slums in like Thailand and other Vietnam, I think, or Philippines maybe, that was the country.
I think it was Philippines.
And people were just happy, and it looks really bad, but people are just it looks like people are much nicer to each other, and especially like tourists. So yeah, that's like a big reason why people are more important in the way they treat you than scenery and everything, like beautiful mountains.
Like I'm thinking back of Greece and even big city like Athens.
Would you want to sit for drink or something to eat? This is the oldest Greek tavern of Plaka. If you want later on, I have vegetarians, I have really fresh fish.
I mean, it's not even worth speaking about Ikaria because it's just a whole different world.
So here we are at our Airbnb, and we have these two cats on our windowsill. They're fighting a little bit. The tabby cat didn't want to sit.
Like these are the places I definitely want to come back. I want to come back, talk to those people, sit down with them, have a dinner, talk to about their lifestyle and things. Yeah. But here, no.
Yeah, they feel like closed off very much. Like people have a look at this cold wall around them, and when you approach them, they just have this cold wall. Like, what do you want from me? Something like that. Yeah, they what is it called? They instead of being open to maybe you're a good person, they assume. Yeah, that's the word, assume. Like, I hate when people assume things about you, not knowing who you are. That's like the stereotypes, I guess, and it ties in, like, I guess, with racism too. Like, when you assume something about someone, I think that's like the part that people don't like in general. That's not ethical. That when you treat like one person that's from the street, that you assume something about them, that's like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
To make someone feel bad.
For me, when I spoke to those people, it was their condescending attitude that I just hate that when people like condescendingly look upon you like, oh, what do you want from me? Why you asking me these questions? Don't bother me. Don't bug me anymore.
Otherwise, I mean, of course, everything's beautiful and everything, but you still feel the energy, I guess. I
mean, those incidents, once they happen, like they start to accumulate, and you start like feeling that there's something that's out of place for you here. I mean, I definitely think that other people coming here, maybe Russians or Ukrainians,
they feel at home here.
Who are used to this kind of attitude and people treating each other, they're at home for sure. And maybe that's part of the reason why it's like here in Kotor or maybe even Budva, but Budva even more so.
It's really good water. Magnesium.
Because the Russians prefer that town, and people are used to this kind of attitude, that the Russians or tourists come here and that with the attitude that everyone owes them something, and then they kind of like treat them with contempt or like get the hell out of here. So that's kind of like both ways.
Yeah, I have a feeling like here, especially because it's the tourist season now, peak season. There's so many people right now. I have a feeling like the locals have contempt for tourists, which I mean I understand that, but still, like when you're one-on-one with a person, with a tourist, like you can't treat them badly because of that.
I mean, sure, that's part of the reason they don't like. But if you look at the economy, it solely depends on tourism, and that's their breadwinner. I mean, why would you cut your hand or cut the branch you're sitting on? So if you wanna, people come back here, you want to treat them nicely, and that's something that you said I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand people, like, they don't like when it's very busy and everything. I mean, everything that you said, but, like, just when you're with an individual, just one-on-one, like, you can't treat them like based on your contempt of like what happens here during the summer, like especially when you're one-on-one, like not when you're just theorizing in general. You can't. Yeah. People are different, basically. You can't just...
Yeah, I guess I'm saying something that's general, applies to the country, but when you start talking to an individual person, he doesn't care that Montenegro, I guess you're probably making a point, that he doesn't care that the country depends on tourism.
Yeah.
He just cares about you not bugging him, or you're kind of like a burden for him or her, and so he tries to get rid of you as quick as possible. So that's... Yeah, those are two different things, I guess.
Maybe it'll change when in the future.
I don't know. These things really change slowly.
Yeah, maybe
even don't change. Like I see in Ukraine, there things are pretty much the same.
Even in Poland, like they should be different, right?
And I'm not speaking about like, things are getting better in terms of economy, welfare. No. That's not visual things.
Yeah, we're talking about human decency.
Just people's, their attitude and character. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like if in Poland, for example, in Warsaw when we were there, 2018, we didn't feel this at all. But in Krakow, when we were in Krakow this year, and that's what we felt like. Very similar to here. People are just not friendly to you, and they push you around on the street, which is like the worst thing ever. Here, at least, people go around you on the street.
More or less.
But in the stores, they hit you, and someone actually hit me. He was running, and he hit me today on the street. So that's just something I don't really like.
I think someone hit you also before. I forgot. Was it when we arrived at Podgorica? I think.
Yeah, that's true. I don't remember. Try not to remember these things, but.
Yeah.
But they add up and stuff when it happens consistently. But otherwise, it's very beautiful here. So we'll just stay and work from the apartment.
I guess generally speaking, it's maybe we don't like sugarcoat as other YouTubers do and show like, oh, everything is great, look at me, look at this food. I mean, that's probably one way to do that and not show all the things that happen around you. Sure, but I guess these are the things that will likely happen to you if you come here from United States or some other country. You will likely see this. Yeah,
I guess I was expecting something, but I wasn't expecting it to be this bad. But it's not bad in general. Like, you just have to know those things when you travel.
I guess it's because we're kind of like attuned to how people treat each other and how they behave around people, tourists as well, like us. And so that's kind of like, I guess for us, it's the biggest disappointment whenever we visit any places. Not necessarily like, I don't care if it's dirty or there's a garbage flying around or maybe some other things, that maybe some old buildings.
Or like in Athens, for example, it was very old. Everything was very old, but because people are so friendly, you didn't even feel it. Yeah,
they were smiling at us, and everyone was, happy and helpful, and it's a different matter. And I don't care about those things, like visual, small cosmetic things, while people and how they treat you without respect, that's something that weighs quite strongly for me, personally at least.
So hopefully you got something useful out of this. If you're thinking of traveling to Montenegro or just in general to Balkan countries or in Eastern Europe.